All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to Graviteam Tactics Mia's Front. And so, just a quick recap. Last time we had our boys in the Wehrmacht move into Sire Mogilski. I think that's how you pronounce that. And we had a pretty smashing success. We managed to push the Red Army all the way out of the town. And as you can see, we have captured that ground. And now the 3rd SS is actually going to start to advance towards Stepanovka. Or Stepanovka. And in order to get there, we're going to try and capture this gully here. Olhovichik. Gol Olhovichik. All these are very Russian names because, middle of Russia. So, we're going to go ahead and commence the battle. This is the 3rd SS Totenkopf that we are playing here. The last time it was the Wehrmacht. This time we are going to be the 3rd SS. And with that uniform mod, the SS uniforms in the base game look okay, but I'm hoping that this mod makes them just absolutely stunning to look at. That's my hope here. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start setting up our troops. Now, do we have any mechanized? We do have mechanized. Okay. They're going to be on this side of the map, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and get our heavy guns set up here first. So I want to find a good spot. I think maybe right here will be a good spot because they can overlook the hill here and they can shell. We're going to put him there. And you're going to put him there. And him there. So let's zoom in here. It looks like Wehrmacht. Now this is an SS guy. You can definitely tell. Yeah, that's a lot better. The old one, they didn't have the skull cap. They didn't have the Totenkopf on the hat. And look, they have the SS emblem. It's still, I don't see any emblems that would denote them as Totenkopf, but because all the SS had the skull and crossbones on their helmets or on their caps rather. But that's just a small detail. I'm not too pressed about it. So we're gonna go ahead. This is definitely by far the most open part of the map, which is nice. We can definitely push some tanks through here. We're gonna put our guys kind of far back initially. So we have a group of Panzer IVs here that we're going to deploy. And then Hermann. We're going to deploy him here. So last time we had some rain in the beginning of the battle. It's not the case this time, thank God. So the unit comp over here is going to be primarily Panzer IVs. If you zoom in, this guy has side skirts. Looks like these are the models that have the side skirts on them. These side skirts, the little pieces of metal that are kind of plastered on the side, they're actually meant to deflect AT rifle rounds. So these are more resistant to AT rifles, and you can even see right here how it looks like it's a bit up armored here as well. So these are definitely the later variants of the Panzer IV. In Steel Division 2, one of my chief complaints about that game is that Panzer IVs and T-34-85s seem so anemic. And even the T-34 with the 76mm, they just, again, all the tanks that aren't like King Tigers and stuff, they just seem so anemic. You couldn't do shit with them, really. This is a Panzer III Command model. So, I don't like these, as a combat unit. He's an artillery spotter, so, he has another function. But, as a combat unit, I don't really like these very much because of the short you know, like the Panzer III November, it has that short 75 or whatever, and that can do some pretty decent damage to infantry. But if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is only a 5 centimeter, and it's a short-barreled 5 centimeter at that. So this round is very anemic. The regular Panzer III gun is adequate for a lot of stuff, but in this case, I'm not a huge fan. We're gonna go ahead. Here, we're gonna have them fire 15 per gun this time. Last time, the artillery barrages went a little bit too long. I had them fire about 30 per gun. The duration, it said it'd be about 3 minutes, which should be plenty of time to let our infantry and tanks move in, as well as our recon here. So yeah, we're going to let them do that. Now, usually I'd have these guys move up with the tanks, but in this circumstance, we're actually going to keep them a bit further back, and we're actually going to deploy them in this little gully here in the forest. Let's see, is there any water running through it? Looks like there is a dried up creek going through it currently. Not sure if it leads into the Mias or not. So last time, a mistake that I made is I was actually putting the platoon leaders in front of our, of their guys. It's actually not really what you want to do. You're going to want your officers to be a bit behind, and you want them to kind of be a bit more protected. So we're not going to make that mistake again. Let's see here. Who are you? Schult. So this is their commander. That's another thing. We need to keep this guy kind of close. We don't want him to be on the front line. I mean, he's going to be on the front line, obviously. He's going to be in some danger. But we don't want him all the way up on the front, completely just going ham. Let's see here. Can he... I doubt he can really see over there. Maybe if I put him right here. This is definitely a bit of a glitch. This is a Wehrmacht uniform. And these guys are not Wehrmacht, but that's fine. Ruining my immersion. We're going to have him spot targets on this side of the hill. It's going to be accurate within 40 meters. Same kind of deal here, 15 per gun. We're going to set that fire task. This hill's actually going to be very important to suppress initially. I have the feeling that they're going to have some pretty heavy defenses up here. Last time I was wrong. I guess since they're on the defense, they do get to dig in on the first turn. So that was something I was wrong about. And these guys also had this. We're going to put him like right here. Oh. Guess I'm having to put these guys down kind of in a weird way. So these infantry guns right here are pretty interesting. As you can see, they're pretty small. Like the caliber is actually pretty small. But they can fire at a pretty good pace. These 15 centimeter heavy howitzers, they can be a bit more... They can take a bit longer to reload. There's not really any good place to put him. I guess we could kind of put him back here. But this is, I don't know, this is kind of exposed. I don't really like it, but we'll see how it works. We'll see how it works out. Okay. Where are these guys located? Okay, they're located over here. And again, this is not a very good map for infantry. Just because of how open it is. There's not really any forest they can hide in or anything. And as the Germans, you do need to be very, very careful about taking a lot of losses. The Red Army can take a lot more losses. They have the weight of numbers on their side, which is accurate to real life. I mean, if the first T-34 didn't do the job, then the next 30 to 40 definitely will. Okay. These guys have the large mortars, I think. We're going to kind of keep him in the back for now. Let's see. Can you see really well from right here? I'll go ahead and call in some of those heavy mortars. Okay, cool. Duration 25 minutes. Holy shit. 150 minutes. Holy crap. 25-minute barrage. We don't need anything that long. That's what she said. I got Ludwig back here. This is an AT team. Now, you might think that they might be kind of useless, but actually, they can actually be quite useful. So obviously you have your regular Pak-38s. I'm not expecting to see any tanks really, but the big thing is that they have these MG crews. So this will be very helpful in long-range suppressing. Now, as you can kind of see here, the landscape is very, very like smooth. You know, it's not smooth, like it's very hilly and stuff. Like there's no shell cratering or anything. Again, as time goes on, that's going to change, especially as we push towards here, Stepanovka. This town is very, very brutal to fight over. The last time I made it to there, I think we started arriving in the outskirts at like the middle of the night, and the night fighting was just terrible. Or no. We got there about 4 o'clock in the afternoon in game time, and then they launched an attack, or we tried to launch an attack on them, and then they tried to attack us at the same time, so it was a bit awkward. But it was like the middle of the night, right? That's an AT team. We are going to disregard these guys for this turn. We don't really need them. We have plenty of tanks, so if they try any funny business, it's not going to go well for them. Now, this is going to be interesting. These are mechanized infantry. And mechanized infantry, who are you? Okay, so these are motorized mortars. We're gonna put them back here for now. Back here. So these guys are actually going to be very, very useful too. These motorized mortars, but these mechanized guys are pretty interesting. Germany in World War II was actually known for this kind of warfare. So if you zoom in, this is called a half track. And essentially, the concept, for those who don't know, is that you have the kind of the wheel, like the front wheels are going to be like regular wheels, and then these guys back here have caterpillar tracks. And I think the idea was to combine like mobility with like all terrain. So actually, this is called a Hanomag 251. The wheels only turn about 10 degrees, and then it starts engaging the tracks here. So that's kind of an interesting little tidbit. These Blitz 36s need to fuck off. Do not need them. Not now. So, yeah, mechanized can be pretty powerful, especially if you can use them right. Oh, wait, we need to put these guys in the back. There we go. When it comes to infantry that can go across open ground, These are probably going to be your best bet for that. These are my machine guns, right? Yeah. So essentially, as soon as the battle starts, we're actually going to have the infantry just dismount. And then after they dismount, we're going to have them assault together. And having infantry on this side especially, like there's a bit more cover on this side. It's still going to be hell to get them to push up because they're going to be dug in. But we'll have some artillery support helping them out. Speaking of that, who are these? Who are these guys? Okay, these are all AT teams. I thought I had like actual mortars. We have these guys still. These guys are going to be very useful on this side. Let's see what it looks like on the ground from here. Good. Again, this is going to be very good at supporting, especially... Now, once they crest this hill, it's going to be a bit more complicated. But as they are attacking uphill, they're going to have a decent amount of support from machine guns. Like these machine gun positions here will provide some pretty good overwatch. There will also be some artillery falling over here. And I guess we'll go ahead and get some scheduled support here as well. Go ahead and shell this whole area. So yeah, we'll just shell this general area here. Alrighty, so we've gotten our setup done. Took us about 17 minutes to do. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the initial orders phase. Who are you? You don't need to be all the way up there. I want to keep you guys safe. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and go into the initial orders phase here, I think. Take one last look around here. Oh yeah, these guys. These guys. Trap. Okay. So we are going to kind of have them chill out right here. Again, you really don't want your infantry out in the open, but sometimes you kind of have to do it. I'll zoom in and give you guys a bit of a closer look at these SS uniforms, the regular guys. We've only seen the officers. And they look pretty good. Wish they were part of the base game. This guy with his MP40, he's probably a sergeant. Spandau right here. Wonder, what are these guys equipped with? MG42 is nice. Actually, we'll put them back here. That way they're not too far forward. Alrighty, and then you, who are you? We'll put him here. And then you, we'll put this guy like right there. Who are you? These guys can go back here. Want them kind of out of sight, out of mind. So you don't really need them. Okay, and then these, who are you? Okay, we'll bring them back here. So again, we don't really need them. Oh, actually, we might be able to use these guys. This right here is actually quite a weird AT gun. So the caliber of the bullet or the projectile, the gun is actually like the gun caliber, like the size of like the bore, is smaller than the caliber of that shot. So it's called a squeeze bore, and essentially it like squeezes the like the round really tightly as it exits the barrel, which I guess gives it like better performance. Or something like that anyway. So yeah. And we already have him set up. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move into initial orders. Go ahead and switch into this view. I want these guys to recon initially. Now the plan with these guys, obviously they're not going to be able to get up here very quickly. They're going to get kind of a lot of resistance. I want these guys to have fire at will turned off. I want them to covert move over here. If they start getting engaged, then we'll turn that off. We're gonna have these guys dismount and then assault. We're just gonna have them assault in this direction. As you can see, some trenches have popped up here. Looks like a lot of trenches actually, which is a bit concerning. But the plan of attack here doesn't look there's many trenches over here. There's a couple, but these tanks will be able to deal with them pretty simply. So we're gonna have these guys move through the gully to about right here and capture the key point, and then we're gonna have them spring an attack while these guys are engaging, which hopefully will yield some good results. Oh, look at that artillery barrage. That's like right over some of them. Nice. We're going to have these guys move up to like right here. And then you people can make your way this way. We'll have him just attack over to right here, the commander. We don't want him dying. Alrighty, so these initial orders were pretty simple. We're not really doing anything advanced here. We're going to go ahead and have them get the show on the road. So as you can see, the infantry here are leaving the half-tracks. Or hold on, if you press Alt and then highlight them, that'll highlight the infantry only. So what I'm going to do is compress Control 1 to bind them to Control 1. And then that way if I need the infantry to veer off or something. Can't remember what the keybind is for these. Is it Control and then doing that? No. Maybe Shift? No. Alright, our artillery strikes are incoming. As you can see, these guys are moving in a bit of an orderly line. They're trying to stay concealed. Looks like they're also firing on us. And it looks like our initial shots are landing over here. Doesn't look like there's anything over here, though, unfortunately. We're receiving our first shots. Hopefully they'll end up spotting them here shortly. We are receiving some artillery fire ourselves. Come on, guys, start spotting them. Come on, guys, start spotting them. Established. Okay. I don't think we have anybody that's... Lots of early game artillery. And as you can see, these guys are moving covertly. Okay, we got our first infantry spotted up here. Opening up. Fire control for him. Lots of lag. Alright, we have our first shells about to be fired off from the big boy guns. So lots of fire being exchanged over here. Go ahead. Go ahead and have them start launching an attack in that direction. Looks like we have been found out. Lots of artillery falling on our boys up here, unfortunately. So this blink pinking thing, right, that means that they're under fire. That means that they're starting to come under some pretty intense fire. There's a panicking. Guy's just calmly walking with his MG42. What a fucking unit. What a Chad. Running up his shot. Go ahead and have these guys start advancing. To have fire control on for these guys. I should have done that during the initial orders phase, but it is what it is. Firing their rifles. The barrage is still going on. It looks like it is mildly effective here. Look at all these dead bodies already. Attack does seem to be going pretty well, especially with this little pincer we have going on here. Check on these guys. I think they're slowly making their way up. These MG42s are helping out. I had them back. All the bullets. These poor Russians. The barrages are going to be coming to an end here soon. You can't actually cancel these. We'll let them go to completion here. Once they crest this hill, these guys are going to be under a lot of fire. Looks like they are retreating. Oh. Lots of dead Soviets. Up the hill here. Meanwhile, the tanks are going to support on this side. Who's this guy with? Oh, yeah, we don't want them doing that. Again, look at all these supporting positions we have. Support by fire is the name of the game with Germany. Having interlocking machine gun positions, having guys with artillery, having guys with howitzers shoot down at the enemy. This is the name of the game here. Even though we are facing a dug-in position, a lot of enemies, we're still managing to push in and we're still taking not very many losses. It also helps out that we are fighting at a bit of a longer range here. We're not having to fight in a town. We're having to fight across an open field. That's a huge advantage for us. This is where Germany excels the most, I would say. Here's a good thumbnail. I'm gonna try and get this video out on the night of the 10th. We'll see what happens. I managed to get the other one done in about 2 or 3 hours. Probably about 2.5 from start to finish when it comes to editing and all that. I'm pretty small. I mean, I'm just starting out, so I'm not expecting much feedback to start out with. Look at that. Despite even having to go through all this hellscape, like they are managing to get up this hill here. Germany is just so strong when it comes to medium to long range. You have all this artillery, all these heavy guns suppressing them. Look at these guys, they're panicking. That guy's panicking, that guy's wounded. They're all panicking. They don't have any time. By the time that they lift their heads up, we're going to be right on them. I haven't seen any units in disarray. Okay, yeah, there we go. Those are our first ones in disarray. It looks like they might be falling back. So that black flashing means that they are in disarray. We lost something. Lost. How did we lose these guys? Okay, it looks like they just got killed. This machine gun crew got killed. Where is our mortar squad? Okay, the mortars are going. And they're mortaring this position, which is nice. There's a very, very entrenched position right here with a lot of guys. So we do have mortars dropping over here. These AT guns are going off, man, that's insane. So it looks like they focused most of their defenses over here. I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing some sporadic foot mobiles over there, but it's nothing huge. These guys are firing off. These are little infantry guns. These guys can fire off pretty fast, too. That's just crazy, dude. The scale of this game is just, I mean, it's so unimaginable. What did we lose? Looks like we lost another machine gun crew. So again, as we reviewed last time, let me pause the game here real quick. These flares that you're seeing being launched, they do have meaning. So just to kind of go through what we have right now. These orange flares that you're seeing mean miscellaneous. They're from Germany. That's kind of weird. And then these red flares from the Red Army are actually designating targets. So they're launching them in kind of our general direction, and it's basically just saying, hey, the enemy is that way for those guys who don't know. Looks like we have some more shells falling over here. We are getting into PPSH range. guys are just starting to get out of the forest. They've been under some pretty heavy scrutiny. Then assault that way. Ceasefire? No way. You're retreating. These bigger explosions are from 15-centimeter howitzers. These guys don't really have orders. We're going to give them an assault order. Who are you with? Trap? Hurdo. Assault. Okay. Making very good progress over this hill. So again, you can attack uphill and it can be relatively successful. We haven't taken too many losses. These support weapons that we've had, these howitzers and these. See, I guess this is considered a light howitzer, right? Yeah, these little infantry guns and these heavy howitzers. They've been doing a very good job at keeping these infantry in their holes. We have finally taken the key point on the map, which is Go Ohovichik. And as you can see, the landscape has been churned up by all the shells that have been fired. Like, look at all these craters. Looks like most of the infantry over here is dead. Taken care of. So these guys are flashing yellow. Looks like they're having morale. Oh no, they're having fuel issues. Got some more captives taken. Always nice. I'm going to expect these guys to take some more losses as they start to crest the hill. These support weapons aren't going to be able to reach them as well. I want him to move over here. How are our mortars doing? They're still designating targets. Taking a lot of captives. A lot of them are giving up. They're surrendering. Mortars need to be careful. Hopefully their rounds don't fall short. That's a mortar shell that dropped over there. And again, you know, it doesn't look like they're landing on them, but the point of these kind of artillery weapons isn't necessarily to kill. I mean, it is to kill them, obviously. But the main point is to suppress them. We want to keep them in their holes. That way, when our infantry start getting in close, they'll start surrendering. They'll start, you know, panicking. So these guys need to assault this. some better orders here. Have them keep pushing the attack here. And again, as I said last video, these little markers that are over the vehicles, like this yellow one, are communication markers. It's basically telling us we're going to have these guys take our flank. They are starting to head over into the forest. Hopefully none of our guys get bogged, but it is very likely because of this little gully here. Hopefully our commanders have some sense. Taking a lot of captives. Just look at how the infantry move. This is why I've fallen in love with this game. Every time I've lost in an engagement, it's either because I've done something strategically wrong on the map, or it's because I never feel like things are the game's fault, if that makes sense. I feel like the mistakes that I've made are mine alone. We haven't seen any enemy tanks yet. We usually don't see them on turn 1. They usually end up coming by a little bit later, turn 2, turn 3. Not really listening to my orders here. Well, I guess they can't see them quite yet. Look at this close combat going on. Throwing grenades at him. Panicking. Look at that. This guy's panicking. Oh, that was a rifle grenade. Somebody shot a rifle grenade at him. That's funny. Attack going over here is going really well. Looks like they do have some mortar fire that's landing on our troops here. Give them an assault order. We're actually going to give these guys an assault order up the road. You are going to take some losses naturally. That's just the nature of the beast here. Lots of PPSHs going off. Unfortunately, we did lose some Spandau crews in the back. These guys have been firing off the whole game. These guys are definitely going to need some resupply after this turn. Look at how just a wave of infantry. Looks like these guys are pretty dug in over here. Let's see, how are our mortar squads doing? They are designating these guys, so they will have some mortar support as they attack. This is a rifle grenadier, a machine gunner moving in. Infantry does need to be careful of the mortars. That's a mortar shell that just fell in. We lose here. Oh, these tanks are getting all bogged down now. I should have known better. So We'll be able to recover him after the battle. I'm not worried about it. Need him to be careful. And again, once these guys emerge, looks like they're trying to stay concealed here. Not really working out for him, though, is it? Yeah, I should have known better than moving them across the gully, but... So last game, I had a problem with some unit cohesion. They weren't really sticking together as well, but it looks like they're doing a bit better at that this game. Which is nice. Yeah, look at that, all these fucking tanks are being retarded. It's alright. Again, we'll be able to recover them after the match. As long as it doesn't say unit destroyed, you're generally going to be okay. More captives have been taken. This guy managed to make it across. Wow, we ran into a large wall of infantry over here. I need to pull these guys back, actually. Can't see. Makes sense. Look, they're still firing off shots at something. They've kind of outrun their support, unfortunately. They're still pushing in. Starting to get thrust into a retreat. That's not good. We're gonna go ahead and accept their ceasefire. 30 seconds. That ought to do it. We'll go ahead and accept their ceasefire. Looks like our infantry on the right flank did get stalled. There's just a massive amount of infantry back here. Alrighty. So let's see what we got here. 99 casualties. We got negative 15% casualties, so 15% of our guys in service are out of action. They lost 50% of their guys. 50% of their guys are out of action. 14 of our guys were killed to their 58. 64 of our guys are heavily wounded. 57 of theirs are heavily wounded. 21 of our guys are missing because of those captures at the end. 121 of their guys are missing because they retreated. 51 wounded, 35 wounded. For an attack, this wasn't too bad. Return to the operation here. Yeah, it looks like we just have armored vehicles, but this is probably the perfect map for it. So we're gonna try this out. Yeah, this is probably the perfect map for it to be like this. We're going to kind of keep the artillery spotters back. We're not going to need them. Yeah, this is probably the perfect map for this to happen on. I should have been more careful and assigned some infantry units to them, but too late. So these are Panzer VIs, also known as Tigers. They're modeled pretty well in this game. Look at this. The camo's looking nice. This is Tiger 800. I think about 1,200-ish of these were made. Not a lot. By World War II standards, it wasn't shit, really, but... they were prone to breaking down. But when they did work, they worked pretty well. The problem that I have with Tigers is they're over-engineered. You know, would you rather have like one Ferrari, or would you rather have like 30 Toyota Corollas that you can just mass produce over and over again, right? At least when it comes to warfare logistics, I'm going to take the Corollas every time. But I mean, yeah, like look at the welds, like, you know, everything is really high quality on these Tigers, very technologically advanced. They do have these overlapping road wheels, which I don't like. It makes the maintenance a lot more difficult to do. But they're very large tanks. They can definitely bust through some pretty nasty stuff. Most of the time, these tanks are not really going to be facing other tanks. I mean, they do, obviously. But really, most of the time, like that last game, there's all infantry support. And in this game, there's no infantry support, but I don't think we'll see any major enemy tanks. I think it's going to be mostly infantry. Which on a map like this, there doesn't seem to be too many places infantry can hide. I mean, they can hide in trenches and stuff, but we'll just line them. We'll just line the fucking tanks up and let them go. Let's see. These are actually on-call mortars, so maybe we should put them in a nice spot. Maybe like right here on the road, perhaps. Well, no. I'm gonna have to move them up onto the road. Do that during initial orders. So we do have some tanks over here for some reason. This game is kind of buggy sometimes. How are you damaged? Did we have him last time? Oh yeah, we did. These guys are from the other battle. That's kind of funny. Fighting again. Yeah. So these guys are actually from the previous battle. By the looks of things. Yeah, these are from, yeah, Stepanovka's like right there. Okay. Yeah, these are some shell craters from, that battle. Okay. Yeah, I know where we're at now. I didn't think we were that close to him. Let's see, what's damaged on you? Probably just some sights, yeah. Probably had an AT grenade thrown on him or something. We have so many fucking tanks, dude. Holy shit. Which side of his is broken? It's not gonna tell me. Probably just damaged. It's probably not completely inoperable. So attacks like this weren't very common in World War II. During like the first stages of Operation Barbarossa, they were, because the tanks are going to be going ahead of the infantry. So it's not completely unprecedented having, like, you know, just a bunch of tanks charging you without any infantry, you know, readily available behind them. Well, I guess they had Panzer Grenadiers that were on standby, probably. Yeah, it kind of sucks we don't have any infantry, but it is what it is. These guys are a part of Das Reich. Where's his artillery cursor? There it is. I want like 50 per gun. Go ahead and add that. Look at that, they're peppering that whole thing. $500 rounds of fucking AG, that's hilarious. In the course of like 2 minutes. These guys are gonna be fucking shattered. Okay, they're still kind of just... Still no resistance up here so far. Oh my gosh. They were just expecting us to be like all right there. That would have been terrible if we had infantry right there. That'd be absolutely like that would be terrible. To sit here and shell them all day.
Oh no!
Poor fucking guy. Poor fucking dude. For now. Found they're gonna start resisting. Loader's looking out of that port, and everybody else is facing forward. So again, this might take a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and cut to until whenever I either decide to withdraw or whenever this battle's over. Go ahead and pause the recording until something interesting happens.
A few moments later.
Alrighty, we're back. So the attack's been going well. Lots of dead Russians. Lots of dead Russians. Yeah, that mortar strike, I mean, it was devastating. And they've been launching these Katyushas, but they're not hitting anything, so they're just kind of lagging my PC. Okay, we're just tightening the noose on them. You know, when I feel like it's safe, I let them close in. I don't know how they just. I mean, I don't know how they just haven't like just thrown in the towel. Who needs infantry when you can just shell the crap out of them and then bring up armor? I mean, look at all these dead bodies. Not a single fucking loss. Not a single loss. We had one armored car guy that had to bail. I'll let these guys deal with them. I mean, just the sheer volume of fire is crazy. We've had some heroes try to come up and bring AT grenades up, but they always get mowed. They always get mowed down. Like they're offering a ceasefire. No, I don't think we will. I don't think we'll do that actually. Not today, folks. No ceasefire. Not today. This fucking poor guy. What is he doing? He's fucking firing a machine gun at him. It's hilarious. Oh, he disappeared. Yeah, it's because we lost sight of him. I'm gonna give him an assault order. I mean, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing that they can fucking do. I thought this was gonna be like, you know, they would just get suppressed the whole time, but no, we are like actively killing a shit ton of them. I mean, just look at this. This first turn is going really well. There's gonna be a lot of guys with, there's gonna be a lot of dead guys with guards badges today. Poor guy with his Mosin. This was a massacre. They're trying to like slyly advance up this tree line. That's not gonna work. These are our Panzer IIIs right here. They're L models. These Panzer IIIs, I think, are among my favorite. I think these look like they're in a Dunkelgelb dark yellow camo. I think they mostly use this in North Africa, but it's probably accurate to the Eastern Front too. They probably just didn't bother to repaint the tanks, and it does go with the environment, sort of. Could just be wrong too, but as you can see, they have these up armored plates. They're a lot more armored than the regular Panzer III, and they have a long barreled 50mm. So they're pretty decent at taking out even like medium armor. Like, you know, a T-34, it can handle it no problem for the most part. I think it's time to go ahead and press the attack here. Assault. A lot of them are just running away. They're so shattered and broken from just the sheer amount of fire. Even more dead Ruskies. This commissar here is crawling along the ground. Oh, crap. Oh, he's dumb. Why is he running?
Ooh.
Well, yeah, he decided to run out in front of a tank, so, you know, that sounds like it's pretty worthy of a Darwin Award, if anybody deserved one. I have a feeling that there is going to be a lot of infantry kind of back in here. They're not very accurate, so we're gonna kind of move them up a little. Look at that, they've already just fucked off. They don't want any of this. Yeah, if we had infantry doing this, who did we lose? Got flipped over. I want him to move over here. Stay low. We don't want to lose any of these crew. If we lose the crew, we're not going to be able to replace them easily. They want a ceasefire again. Oh no! I accidentally accepted it. Damn it. Well, that's fine. We made some pretty good ground, I'd say, from where we started. Let's see how many guys they got murked. So, we got one casualty. One single casualty, and he was heavily wounded. Nobody got killed. Meanwhile, casualties. 403 casualties. 96 killed, 46 heavily wounded. 261 missing, and 36 wounded. Holy shit. They got fucked, dude. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll end off this video by setting up for the next turn. So if you are just here for the battle part of the video, then I would go ahead and take your leave. You're not going to get anything else out of this video. But if you want to stick around and watch us set up for the next turn, for the next video, for turn number 2, then we can do that. So we're going to go ahead and organize this engineering battalion. We're going to give them a regular infantry squad. Still no AT weapons, unfortunately. We really need AT down here. These guys have a AT weapon. Okay. Awesome. We're going to move these guys up here. Move these guys in here. These guys down here. These guys right here. For the next turn, we'll go ahead and have him advance and him advance. So the attack along goal, I'm going to call it goal Oho. We're going to call it goal Oho because it's fucking, yeah. Went really well. We're really starting off running here. We have 59 key points, which key points are like what you use to like, yeah, you know what I mean. They are used to reinforce your guys. Support weapons. These guys are gonna need support weapons up here. What are we gonna give them? We're gonna give them. We're gonna give them these battalion level mortars. We actually need to reorganize these fellas. We're gonna keep these guys in command. Looks like we aren't gonna need to replace many of these guys. Mobility. We're going to let the AI deal with it. Looks like most of our guys are intact. They do have a battle under their belt, so that is going to be nice. About these guys. Yeah. These guys, 17. We might want to change him out. Let's see, what is his squad sizes? 3, 9, 5. That's actually not bad. We'll keep him. We'll keep him in the fight for now. We'll probably switch him out next time if he's taking some losses. These guys need to be reorganized. We'll go ahead and switch him out. No, we're not. 3, 10, and 6. I wish I could, I don't know how to go in here and organize them. I'll probably figure that out off camera. Because I know that there's a way where you can do that. Paired by crew, nice. We're going to have him march in here. Going to have him take up a defense here. These guys are going to be very useful. We'll put them up here. Put them back here. Nice ammo. I'm going to put him here. Actually, this SPG battalion would be nice to have in this battle that's coming up here. I want to push them off of the outskirts. They're definitely going to be bringing up some tanks in here next battle. Fuel, nice. Go ahead and have them try to advance. Alrighty. So I think that's going to end off our video for today. Probably about as long. We're probably going to try to keep them around an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start on editing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the flip side.